tell you what, I know you guys missed me yesterday because yesterday was the Business Plus Mixer and I was traveling back home. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Business Plus Mixer. My name is Linda Murray Bull. They call me the Business Plug. I have picked up some kind of bug, but regardless of what's going on with me, I am here to help you to have business topics about business people having business topics on this Christmas day. And I thought it was great to have this particular conversation about resilience on this Christmas day. So I'm going to introduce you to my guest. But before I get to her, I want to tell you that on First Friday, yes, January 5th, we are doing a meetup. So if you're interested in that meetup, this is businesses all over the United States, all over the world, who are coming together to think about 2024 annual planning. So that's one event. And then the following Saturday, there is a $5.6 million grant that's up for grabs in the clean energy space. And I want to tell you about that too. So it has to do with recycle. So we're going to do some RX before recycle. That's what that session is about. So you can get either one of these sessions. The information is on Eventbrite. Both the tickets are being sold on Eventbrite. Come join us, come join us, come join us. And let's talk about how we, in 2024, how we're going to get to the long money. We are no longer being booked and broke. That's what we're getting away from that. We're not doing that anymore. So good morning, Al. How are you?
I'm great, Miss Linda. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So Al, you have a unique story.
Yes, ma'am.
And so this is all about you and what you do. You're in a you're in a predominantly male driven industry.
Right.
First of all, but you are a goddess of your craft, honey.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's talk about that.
Okay, so my name is Al Rutherford. I am by trade a custom painter. So I have a custom painting body shop. The name of my shop is Indepth Concepts, and I do all of your custom painting. I do airbrush work. I do freehand artwork. I paint buses, limos, hearses, whatever can have paint, I can put it on there. So a little bit about my background. So I went to school to build airplanes initially. Went to tech school for that, and I ended up not liking it. A person I knew was about to open a body shop and needed a painter. They asked me if I wanted to learn how to paint. I said yeah, and I just fell in love with it. And here I am, 20 years later, at the age of 17. 20 years later, I'm 40, and I love it. I love to paint. It's my thing. I do it in my sleep. I'm real good at it. God put that in me, so I just run with it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so they can connect with you at In-Depth Concepts on Facebook,
Yes,
on so
Instagram.
and I put the link. The link is wherever you're watching this video. Go ahead and give her a shout out and connect with her. So let's talk about, like, for you, the pain is your ministry.
Yes, it is. That's my ministry. I get a lot of people that come to me and tell me about things they've seen me paint and how amazing and different it is. So a lot of times when I can't connect with somebody through a phone call or initial, maybe I guess like a meeting them face to face, they may see something that I did and we connect that way because I get, oh, I saw that you painted that. I love that. I did a breast cancer awareness theme bike for a lady, a friend of mine, and everywhere she goes, she tours this bike, but everywhere she goes, she gets smiles and love, and people connect because it's for breast cancer.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so your ministry of painting and making things beautiful has been like everybody's just now waking up because you,
Right.
like you said, you've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah. Long time. I got a lot.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm trying to see if I can bring up one of your one of
Okay.
your pictures you sent me. But yeah, but so you talked about how you've been doing this, and so you are in other people's shops,
hmm
right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So right now, or excuse me, I was in a shop where it was a record service. So, they tow in the cars, you get an accident, they tow you in, whatever, whatever. So this guy had a paint and body shop too. So whenever his records would get damaged, I would fix them and paint them. If they had
Mm,
just regular insurance jobs coming in, that's my thing. I take it from the front door to the back. I do all the body work, do all the painting, everything comes through me.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And so I'm going to pull up if I can. We're going to see. We're going to try it.
All
I'm going
right.
to try to pull up one of the pictures that I have that I found like intriguing. If look, if StreamYard allows me to, I'm going to try it. But talk about can you see that?
Yes, ma'am. I can see that.
Okay, good, good, good. So yeah, so talk about that picture there.
Okay, so that's actually my bike. I ride a 2009 custom ZX14 Kawasaki Ninja. So the 14 is actually the size of the motor. So got a 1400cc motor on it, and it's super fast. So yeah, that's my bike. I did all the customization on it. My cousin Stan is actually a photographer, so he took these pictures of me in front of a shop that I actually had. Yes, ma'am. So that's
I,
me on my bike.
looks like you're peeling out.
Yes, ma'am. All the time. Yep, yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so you can paint whatever needs painting.
Yes, ma'am. Whatever it is, mailboxes, tree houses. I've done so many different mediums. A lot of it I can't even remember. I did a custom semi for a guy once that he had in a lot of shows. It had like a chameleon paint job, the one where it changes from one color to like three or four
Yeah.
different colors. Yes, ma'am. On a semi. So yeah, I paint anywhere, wherever the work is. That's where I go. I like to be mobile because I can meet people, more people that way and get more jobs and just talk to people about what they like. Because with my job, I don't just paint. I try to give you something that's one of a kind, super custom. You pull up, nobody has what you have. So that's my thing. When I get ready to paint something, I don't look in a book. I don't, pull from other people's ideas. I just pray. I go to God. He give me what I need, and I actually just do it as I go. I don't write anything down. However it comes out in the booth, it's never nothing that I pre-plan. It's always
Mm,
just, off the top.
I love it. And so that by doing that, you've been able to make unique custom paint jobs like one of a kind.
Yes, ma'am. Nobody, there are no two that I do, no two are the same. And you can never pull up and somebody have what you have because I mix all my own colors. I put all my own artwork together. I do everything myself.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. And so we decided to do this conversation on Christmas Day because that's the glory side, right? Like
Right.
when people are they see the Facebook paintings or the pictures or whatever, and they know that's the glory side.
Yep.
But we know that business is cyclical and there are as many ups as there are downs.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so what is it like to try to do your work, your craft, but then you need somebody else's space?
Okay, so let me just let's start from the beginning. So what I do, it's a very trying job. It's dirty. It's hot when it's hot outside. It's cold when it's cold outside. You're fighting the elements all the time. Um,
Mm,
PPE that I wear makes it extra challenging. So I wear gloves. I wear earplugs. I wear eye protection. I wear a paint suit. I keep my hair covered. I wear jeans and long sleeves year round because those chemicals they get on your skin, they mess up your skin, the
I
dust it gets on you. So I like to stay covered to keep because I like to keep myself because there are things I want to do after I come out of the paint booth. So I
yeah.
try to keep myself protected. Yes, ma'am. And I'm standing all day, I'm climbing, I'm up high, I'm down low, I'm carrying stuff. It's just a really, really hard job. And it's not for everybody. You got to be able to withstand a lot of the elements. When it's hot outside, I live in Atlanta, so the Georgia summers, they're brutal here. And you
Mm,
have to figure when you go into a paint booth, if it's 85 outside, it's about 100 in the paint booth in the
mm,
summertime, and you just got to deal with it. So coupled with doing that, having the kind of job that I have, the career that I have, is very difficult. It's very demanding. You have to have a lot of self discipline. You have to get up early. The painter is the first person in the building in the morning and the last person to leave at night. And when you're working in somebody else's space, you kind of have to govern to what they want. So where I was at previously, because I was on site doing things for his business, he was enabling me to be able to run my business under his umbrella. Because with painting, you have to have a building. You have to have a building with some sort of paint booth inside it, whether it's an inflatable paint booth or another man-made paint booth or a traditional bought paint booth. You have to have a building, and that's been my challenge. The majority of me having a business, I need a building of my own because it's easier for me to do the things that I do as far as painting, as far as customizing, when I got control over the entire space, not just the paint booth itself. So yeah, it's trying when you don't have a building, because now I'm having to work out in the elements. I have an inflatable booth, but when it's raining like it is today, my booth isn't waterproof, so I can't paint outside when it's raining. But I'm actually working on the Corvette now in my inflatable booth, but I have to do it on the days where it's not raining.
Yeah, yeah. And so let's talk about getting more women interested in what you do.
Right, right. So yeah, I know it's starting to be a lot more women are starting to get into it, because I've heard all my career that women are more apt to painting because they have a better color eye, and they pay more attention to detail. And I
Mm,
guess that would be true, because detail is what my job is all about. You can't skip steps. You skip a step, you're gonna pay for it on the back end, and now you got to start all the way over. And that's why everything is so custom. That's why everything costs so much, because it's critical that those steps are followed if you wanted to come out the way you see this picture right here. There are a lot of things that had to go into me painting this bike. It's probably about a $6,000 paint job on that
mm.
motorcycle, and that's just in paint. So
Wow.
yes,
Wow. Wow.
mhm,
That's interesting. And so
yep,
that's a lucrative career.
very much so. There's
But
a lot of money in painting body, a lot of money, and I love to be able to teach more people, especially women, how to get into it.
I
Mhm.
love it. I love it. And so what challenges do you think? Okay, so we talked about having your own building is a challenge, and then being a woman in the industry is a challenge. What other challenges do you foresee in your industry?
So, being that there's a lot of money to be made in the paint and body field, you also have to spend a lot of money. Paint is very expensive. Like I say, my bike there, it's probably about 8 grand in
Mm,
just paint, and that's with paint and paper and tape. I probably got about 500 man hours in paint just in that.
mm,
So yes, ma'am. Just the time factor is challenging. The money is challenging, because when you start to dive into your custom paint, you're talking about pearls, you're talking about candy, you're talking about flakes, and all those things cost money. My bike has got what you call a tangerine candy on it. Now, a quart of candy is about $300.
wow.
So I
Wow.
went maybe about 4 quarts, and then you have to buy the clear coat. Clear coat is expensive. So yeah, other than time being the challenge and money, those are the two biggest factors.
Wow. Wow. And
Mhm.
so we're talking about this because we know that on Christmas Day, a lot of people are like, it's not fun for everyone,
No,
right?
it's
It's
not.
not fun for everyone because some people have suffered loss and have suffered some type of devastation in their lives. And
Yep.
so we wanted to come on to tell them about your brilliant story to encourage them that, you know, you go through what you go through, but there's joy on the other side.
Oh, yes, ma'am. So, right now, like I said, the place that I was working at was a record service, but he had a paint booth there too to take care of those needs. But October 31st, he told us that he was closing down the paint shop. So it wasn't any fault of mine. They just wanted to close it down and do whatever they wanted to do with it. So I had to accept that. In accepting that, okay, so now I'm scrambling. What else am I gonna do? Because my career is what it is, and I don't really want to go into nothing else. I want to keep painting. So I had to start figuring out what I was gonna do. Well, this I work for a high-end car dealership right here in my the town that I live in, and they've allowed me to put up a sort of a shop behind the dealership, which I have my inflatable booth there. I'm working out of the back of a box truck, so I got all my paint in the box truck. I'm mixing from the box truck. I'm going right into my inflatable booth and I'm painting there. But like I say, with the elements, like today, I would normally be working. But
Mm,
because it's raining, it's costing me money because I'm having to wait for the rain to stop. Then we only have a certain amount of hours in the daytime to play with because I'm outside, so I can't paint at night because I don't have excuse me, the where I'm set up at, it doesn't permit me to paint at night. So now I'm dealing with the fact that the sun's going down and it's cold at night. So
mm,
everything that I've got going on, I have to do it within a certain number of hours in the daytime. So yeah, I had to shift to going outside 100%, but it's a good thing because now I'm on my own 100%, which is what I've been praying for, which is what I've been working towards. So I'm just trying to take the fact that, hey, yeah, I'm outside in the elements. I got to wait on my money because I can't work every day, but I'm on my own. So now that I got this set of challenges, let me just redirect my thoughts and give it to God. So he'll pay my way and show me the steps to take so it won't be so bad. So now, here I am about 3 months, 3 weeks into me being completely on my own. And it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be because God is guiding my mind. He guiding my steps. He's showing me which way to go. He's showing me what thoughts to think so I can get through this. And eventually I will have worked my way out of the fact that it's cold outside. The spring is coming in. The sun is shining more hours. So it's working. You just got to stay with it. You got to stay the course and you got to trust him.
I love it. I love it. And that's the thing, right? That's the hard part.
Yeah,
The
that's
hard
the
part
hard
is the
part. Being
trust
patient
because
and waiting. Yep.
we are visual people. And if we can't see it, it becomes hard for us to trust in it.
Right. But he gives us, that eye into the soul when we let him in so we can trust him. Everything that I'm doing, this bike you see me sitting on, it was all him. None of me. I had
Mm,
nothing to do with this. He just used me to bring this forth, and that's really what it was. I don't want to sound cliche, but it's the truth. And when you just accept that he will lead you and guide you in the right way, it's easier to understand, okay, now I can sit back and I can be patient because every day he's doing something to get me to that next level.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And so if somebody wanted to get started doing what you do,
Mhm.
what is the first step you think they should have? Other than calling you, like
Right.
we know they need to circle back to you,
Mhm.
but then what should they do to be prepared for the meeting with you?
So really you gotta ask yourself, am I doing this just for the money? Or am I doing it because I love it? Because like I said, there's a lot of money into it, but you'll get burnt out on it chasing the money because the money doesn't come right away. I
Mm,
started out custom paint. I didn't start out doing anything else but custom paint. And as I got further along in my career, I started to work in just regular shops. I worked at Mako where I was painting, 7 to 10 cars a day. I worked in restoration shops where I may not paint but one car a month. I worked in regular shops like this record truck service where I was working at, where I'm painting semis all day. I've worked in a funeral car place where I'm just doing limos and hearses all day. So it just varies. You got to be ready to say, okay, am I going to be able to give up the time that it takes to learn this craft? Because it takes a lot of time, and I'm still learning. But I'm still learning because I want to get better every day, and I know that I'm getting better every day by virtue of the fact that I can look at this picture that you put up and see that. Because 10 years ago I couldn't have done that. 12
mm.
years ago, when I first started my career, I couldn't have done that. That takes a lot of skill and determination and discipline. So I would say first, ask yourself, am I going to be able to give the time to this that it takes? Am I going to be able to understand that I'm not going to make $3,000 the first check? You got to be able to ask yourself these questions and know that once I get into this, I got to stick with it to see the benefit.
And that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is helping people to see that it doesn't happen overnight.
Ooh, not overnight.
We found about it overnight, but it
Yeah.
doesn't happen overnight.
And then you have to understand that there are gonna be some pitfalls. There are gonna be some hard days because I can tell you, when I was learning, when I was in my learning stages, I probably messed up about $8,000-10,000 worth of paint every other
Mhm.
month. That's a lot of money to throw away, but it's in the learning. I don't do those things no more. Same thing with my motorcycle. I had an issue with staying upright when I was first learning. I fell all the time. And when I tell you that pavement feel the same at 5 miles an hour as it does
Mm,
at 500, it don't feel good going out on a motorcycle. But I
mm.
had to learn how to stay up. So now I don't fall no more. I failed the first when I went to take my test. I was 7 months pregnant. I failed the day of my test, but I kept going. I got back up, I got back on my bike, and I passed. And ever since then, I've been riding.
I heard you. I heard you. So does your child like motorcycles as well?
Yes, ma'am, he does, and he has a little Ducati with the little training wheels on it and stuff. So yeah, he loves to ride too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so what would you like for people who are watching this to take away from this conversation?
So, um, firstly, especially for women, because being a woman in the field that I am, it has definitely brought a lot of challenges. It's brought a lot of closed doors. It's brought so many different um elements of push and pull in the sense of where you qualified for it, but because you're a woman, you may not get that. So there's a push and pull that you got to be able to accept that, but keep going. So I would want people to know, especially women, like, don't give up. If you're in a field where you're the only female or you might be one of few females, still go with it. Still, find that self-motivation, talk to God, pray, and he'll give you what you need to keep going because it's worth it. It's worth it to keep going and prove them wrong. And I hate to say that, but a lot of people still had a problem with the fact that I was painting simply because I'm a female. But that's why I took on Al, because once they see the work and then see my face, you can't deny the work, because it's about the work. It's not about the who's doing it. So yeah, just keep going, do what you got to do to get through it. I would say pray a lot. That's why I've gotten all my help is praying. And when you feel like you're tired of praying, pray some more. So
I
that's my
love it.
advice.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Because the resilience, getting through this holiday, getting through life,
Yeah,
period, right?
it's
You
hard.
have to get up more times than you get knocked down.
Yep, you have to keep getting up, and if you got God with you, if you got Him on your side, and
Yes.
He will make a way for you to get back up every time. If you've been knocked down 100 times, because I've had a lot of mishaps in my career, just trying to have this career, and then I got life too. You can't just stop living because you're trying to have a career. You got to find a way to blend the two. But if you
Absolutely.
do it with God, He'll show you how to get through it, and He'll show you the resilience. He will build your character to where you can endure and you can be consistent. Be consistent in whatever
Mm.
you're doing. Be consistent, man.
I love it. I love it. That is actually great advice. That
Mhm.
is wonderful advice. And so my name is Linda Murray Bullard. They call me the business plug. And so I am plugging you into Al Rutherford, who is a female auto body repair and shop expert, paint expert, who is in Atlanta. Reach out to her wherever you're watching this, and go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell in order to see when we're on. The Business Plugs Mixer normally comes on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So that you don't miss a thing, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on Sunday on the Business Plugs Mixer. Have a great rest of your week, everybody.